When people join a HealthShare, there's one mistake I see over and over again, and it can cost you big time. That mistake is not reading the member guidelines. Look, I get it, the guidelines are long, they're boring, and no one's excited to curl up on the couch with a 50-page PDF. But let me tell you why skipping that step is the fastest way to end up frustrated or maybe even stuck with a medical bill that you weren't expecting. So most people hear about HealthShares from a friend or a family member or maybe even someone like me on the internet. And honestly, word of mouth is powerful. If your friend has had a great experience, you're naturally going to trust their recommendation. But here's the catch. What works perfectly for your friend might not work for you. And let me give you a quick example to explain that all. So there's a pretty popular HealthShare, and in their member guidelines, there are limits on how much they'll share in medical costs if you ride a motorcycle and were to get into an accident. So let's say your friend or family member is a member of this HealthShare community. They don't ride motorcycles, so they might have skimmed right past the part in the guidelines. For them, everything's been smooth sailing, they love the program and recommend it to you. But let's say you ride a motorcycle, and if you join that same HealthShare without reading those member guidelines, you might not realize that those limitations exist until, worst case, you end up in a serious accident. Suddenly, you're finding out too late that your medical bills won't be fully shared. And it's not just motorcycles. Maybe your friend doesn't have pre-existing conditions, so they skipped right over that section. But you do, and if you didn't read the guidelines, you wouldn't realize that most HealthShares do have waiting periods or limitations before they'll share in cost related to that pre-existing condition. Or maybe your friend joined a religious HealthShare and for them it was no big deal because it aligned perfectly with their beliefs. But maybe you'd prefer a more flexible or secular option. See, if you don't read the member guidelines, you might be surprised later when you're expected to sign a faith-based statement or belief that doesn't match your own. These are the kinds of details that make all the difference in choosing the right HealthShare for you. Now, here's the thing. Even if you read the guidelines and still decide to join, at least you're going in with your eyes wide open. You'll know exactly what's shareable and what's not. That means no surprises, and honestly, setting the right expectations is the difference between frustrated with a HealthShare or being genuinely happy with your choice. That's the main reason I do what I do here on this channel and on my website. I want to help people learn about HealthShares, understand how they work, and avoid the common mistakes, like skipping the guidelines, that could lead to disappointment. Because the truth is, HealthShares can be a fantastic option for the right person, but only if you take the time to understand the details up front. So if you're seriously considering a HealthShare, do yourself a favor, download the member guidelines and read them. And if you want some extra help, I put together a free guide that walks you through what to look for and what red flags to avoid before joining a HealthShare. It's written in plain English and it'll give you the confidence to know if a HealthShare is the right fit for you. You can grab it at the link below this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.